Pathological envy happens to be related to one of the diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. And narcissists are said to be envious of others, yet they believe that others are envious of them. And they will often project this trait onto literally everyone else around them to make their victims and as many people as possible feel like the insecure ones. And this type of envy, while very common among narcissists, is not just limited to malignant narcissists. Yet narcissistic abusers are more likely to be driven by envy, to engage in more indestructive behavior towards others in a way that is very chronic, impactful, and harmful. And when gone unchecked, pathological envy can be a silent killer in interpersonal relationships. And the victim of someone else's pathological envy may suffer backlash, sabotage, abuse, simply due to their success. And depending on the nature and the longevity of the relationship between the victim and the narcissist, targets may feel punished for succeeding and develop an aversion to being in the spotlight or owning their true gifts and talents as a result of feedback and bullying from a narcissistic abuser. So pathologically envious narcissists, they have this inability to congratulate others on a job well done. And as obvious as this behavior might seem, it does often go unnoticed and needs to be addressed. If this is a part of a chronic behavior pattern, and this is someone who cannot even muster the ability to say congratulations when another person is succeeding. And a pathologically envious person will find ways to instead detract from your success, and they'll ask questions that minimize it, deflate it, or ignore it altogether. And you have to remember that a true friend, coworker, or partner would be able to say, hey, congratulations, I am so proud of you and your success, because they are genuinely happy for you and the success and are secure enough in themselves to be able to celebrate your success. And they are not threatened by your happiness and the happiness of others, nor do they have to constantly find ways to undermine it. There will be a constant redirection to oneself when the narcissist is not the center of attention. And this can also include excluding, alienating, and ostracizing a victim by bullying them in social circles and on social media too. And a pathologically envious person will find ways to divert and undermine your success, especially if they experience discomfort at the fact that it places you at the center of attention, and they believe this is praise and attention that they feel entitled to it, and they may redirect conversations back to themselves and their own accomplishments, engage in covert put downs and smear campaigns, backhanded compliments, or change the subject altogether. And a pathologically envious narcissistic personality may even go so far as to attempt to sabotage your success or try to surpass you in a way that brings them back into the spotlight. So the ongoing pattern of not feeling recognized or acknowledged within a social group can have a tremendous impact on the victim, as their accomplishments, their positive traits, their gifts are blatantly disregarded, ridiculed, and mocked. It is a form of exclusion and ostracism that can create considerable psychological damage and anxiety about sharing one's achievements or celebrating them, or for fear of pain and punishment. And this type of social rejection can be just as dangerous as physical injury. So we will move on to contempt, and you have to remember that malignant narcissists, especially those who are the grandiose type, are easily threatened by someone who could dismantle their false sense of superiority. And this includes more successful family members, partners, peers, acquaintances, co-workers, people on social media. And a pathologically envious person feels that they cannot, if they feel that they cannot obtain the level of success that you have achieved, they will treat your accomplishments with contempt in order to convince themselves and sometimes others that you are inferior and undeserving. So being continuously met with a contempt and haughty attitude, especially when you dare to display a healthy level of confidence, serves to make you feel powerless, small, and inadequate, and it creates an atmosphere of fear where successful targets are discouraged from achieving their dreams and taking pride in what they have achieved. And the ability to look down on you makes these narcissists feel powerful, in control, and this is something they struggle to feel when faced with a target who is more successful than they are in their eyes. And while others are rejoicing you as you launch a financially lucrative career, sign the lease on your dream home, or plan your wedding, or whatever it may be, this envious person will be lamenting about how marriages don't work out and how expensive it must be to live in the city, and they are going to minimize. And the most conniving and counter pathologically envious people go out of their way to burst your bubble by not only minimizing your success, but attributing it to something other than your true merits, hard work, and your talents. And you may find that this person attributes your accomplishments to pure luck, even while they attribute their own to their work ethic. And yet they are often the ones that use their charisma, their narcissism, and their social connections to get ahead in whatever it is that they're doing. And by continuously focusing on an outside influence that must have been the cause of your success, because it could never be you, the malignant narcissist feels better equipped to handle their own sense of inadequacy. So here's an example. Sometimes narcissistic parents are envious or hypercritical of their own children. And these children, they grow up with the inability to self-validate, and they internalize this lack of affirmation as proof of their unworthiness. And if the parent fails to recognize their child's success and their progress, it makes the child feel like he or she will never be good enough regardless of whatever they are doing and however they succeed. And it programs the child to believe that he or she is undeserving of healthy praise. And as a result, the child does not establish a healthy level of confidence early on in their life, and their abilities and skill sets and sense of self is undermined. And this can lead to self-sabotaging behaviors in adulthood, and they hide themselves. They bury their gifts in an effort to escape that same punishment and invalidation and hypercriticism that they received in childhood. You could have a stellar reputation at work. You could have a stellar job. You could be in the spotlight somehow. You could be a supportive friend and a spouse. And this narcissistic abuser may begin to pick on what it is that you lack. Perceived flaws, they'll manufacture insecurities and negative attributes about you that do not exist. And they will focus on these fabricated shortcomings so that you are never allowed to feel secure in yourself and proud of what you have managed to overcome and what you have managed to achieve. And if you have been the target of a malignant narcissist, you have probably been the subject of this pathological envy. You must remember that narcissists pick on their victims because they deem them to have something valuable. They surround themselves purposely with people that they perceive to be special and unique. And it is not your fault that you were targeted for this abuse. And the fact that you were targeted is actually an indication that you have something special about you that the narcissist noticed and wanted to undermine and steal for themselves in the first place. So to close, beware of the narcissist who they enjoy piggybacking off the success of others, and they enjoy sabotaging those same people. And this bears repeating. It is precisely because their target presents the success that they themselves have not been able to achieve, or a success that threatens to take the attention off of them, or a success that say that they have told, spread rumors about you in the past and made you out to be this terrible person, and then you achieve this success that proves them otherwise. They're rather than internalizing these projections, these people recognize these microaggressions and acts of sabotage for what they are, and they are signs that you have something within you that is far greater than the power of their put downs. And you must dare to celebrate yourself and what you have worked hard to achieve, because you have earned it, and you have every right as a human being to be proud of yourself in a healthy way. Please protect yourself from these toxic types of people. Set your boundaries, and do not let a pathologically envious person take residence in your psyche. My name is Sara Ann Brown, and this is Narcissistic Abuse 101. Hey guys, if you are interested in donating to my cause, Narcissistic Abuse 101, click the PayPal link in my bio. And to those of you who have already donated, thank you guys so much.